to a brand new episode of Off the Track Podcast. This is episode 11. The gang is back. How we doing, people?
All right, day by day. I mean, it's another week of school. Zoom U, not too bad.
Same old.
Well, we're week 3 of school. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, week 3 already.
Week 3 of 13.
Is it 13? I thought it was like 14 and then finals, but is it 13 and then finals?
13 in finals.
Wow,
It was supposed to be 12, but they snuck in another week.
nice.
Then 3 more weeks. That's when the midterms start come running in, and then boom.
That's when it really starts.
That's when it really starts.
That winter break is gonna be
Clutch.
hopefully it's gonna be clutch, but at the same time, like it's gonna be
It's
the same
not.
thing as our summer break. Should we still be in the same position?
Oh yeah,
Like-
because people
Yeah.
in USC housing have to move out.
Yep.
And if coronavirus is not taken care of, we're back to where we were in July.
Back to square one.
I wouldn't say back to square one. I mean, obviously, like we may be kind of in the same positions as we are in, as we were in square one, but at the same time, we know and it meant a lot more.
We'll have more understanding.
Yeah,
Hopefully we'll have more understanding.
and hopefully by that time, I mean, November, there's optimism we could have that vaccine, but that I feel like a little too optimistic.
That's so ironic to me.
Mm-hmm.
Have a vaccine ready by November. It said they try and get an approval for it to get clinical trial number 3. That's dangerous.
You just get everybody's Christmas gift this year is just a vaccine. Like
Exactly.
they just they just fill the entire Target, the entire Walmarts with just a vaccine.
It's going.
Every
It's going
pharmacy knows, man, like, come get the coronavirus vaccine. It's free. Come on down.
You're gonna have your local corner dealer as well. Free vaccine right here.
Mhm.
7-Eleven. Good juice. They're gonna have it at the car wash.
And that I'm like, on that note, like I'm greatly intrigued for the day in which it actually comes and like what the actual reaction is gonna be and just the steps that's gonna follow that. I'm like really intrigued as to what's gonna happen.
I need to see how people react to it before I get it,
Yeah.
because there's no way I'm gonna get it, and I have no idea what it does to my body.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, like, isn't, to my understanding, like, that's obviously what the point of clinical trials are, but I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, it's just so dangerous for them to skip number 3 if they're actually doing that.
I doubt they would do that.
I think they're in the middle of 2 right now.
Well, there's multiple, so
There's just so many people creating a vaccine. It's so confusing.
what's the company that I heard, it was like a month or two ago, what was it? It was like Modesta, I think?
Modesta's making one. Johnson & Johnson's making one.
Are you serious?
Russia's
Yeah.
making one. China's making one.
Russia claims they already have one.
There's a European Union patent
Yeah.
that was approved in November of 2019. It has the coronavirus vaccine. So it's like,
I wonder how much medicine that they mix up together.
I'm like, everyone won't be taking the same coronavirus vaccine. That's the problem.
I know. I'm also greatly like the whole idea of creating a vaccine. It's so like interesting to me. I don't know because the whole idea of like drugs in general, like and the manner in which they fix things, discovering it just seems so odd to me. Like where the hell do they? I could not even know like step like 0.1, let alone 1.
They had to get
It's so odd to me.
they had to go to Wuhan and get the coronavirus sample. Then they had to go to New York and Texas to get the mutated sample.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I'm waiting for that day.
And it's so weird how the antibodies only last in your system for like 5 months, according to some preliminary studies.
I did see that, but at the same time, the antibodies shouldn't be the main focus. It should be the T cells, like every other like kind of disease, though. The T cell formation is the more important one. The antibodies is like the immediate, but the T cell, like that's my understanding, is like obviously you want the T cell kind of instead. That's the more progressive one, to my understanding.
Yeah. And it's alarming seeing that people are still having like side effects months after.
Yeah.
People saying they're getting headaches and coughs and aches and pain.
Still can't smell or taste.
Smell or taste.
I heard that last month.
I have a friend whose taste been going in and out. That's scary. And then there's one doctor in Atlanta whose hair is just coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I heard I don't know if it's true for the asymptomatic cases, but I know for the full cases, like the immediate time that you get it is an automatic like scar tissue on your lung.
Yeah. It's like that dude who's in Arizona this person was asymptomatic, but they scanned his lungs and they said he should be dead.
Damn.
That's so terrifying.
The more terrifying thing is majority of people know this. I mean, the Daily Trudge came out with another Instagram today of parties within SC. Except I don't know where. I know one of them literally looked like Menlo, or the street of Menlo.
Dude, it was across the street.
Yeah, I know. I think
it was the house next to this one house.
Yeah,
I heard them.
No, and then I don't know. That one looked like it was in the middle of the village or the village.
Oh no, that was
Gateway. Okay, I was gonna say that was Gateway.
No, yeah, that was Gateway. Gateway's jumping.
Yeah.
Because what they say? Oh shoot! People at Gateway said Gateway wouldn't let them do something, but I don't even know. There's something Gateway's not doing where it's just letting these people congregate. I don't think Gateway cares.
I don't think they do either. Well, I mean, in our case, our apartment, I don't think our full landlord has made an official statement on what her action is on should she see anything going on in ours. Yeah, I don't know. But luckily, a majority of people that live in ours are athletes, so they are aware of the repercussions. Like that's the thing. In my talk with Dunford, kind of, I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago now. Like he said, what these kids are not realizing is, in the event of getting caught, even just being at a function like that, like you're not risking like getting sick. You're not risking suspension. You're risking getting sick and getting expelled. They'll send you away.
Won't come back to you.
You get no help.
We were 3 weeks in. Tuition was paid for me like 4 weeks ago. They'll send you away.
They'll send you home. They won't let you come back till January. They won't even let you come in the village.
What is the village like right now? Like, what is the Trader Joe's and Target looking like?
Target's fine. Trader Joe's, they limit how many people go in at a time.
Yeah, I know. I think Trader Joe's everywhere do that.
Yeah, so they'll let in a certain amount of people. They'll close the door, wait for the line go down, people go out, and then they let people back in. Target doesn't do that.
I know that line be packed though.
Then again, every time I've been to Target, there hasn't been a lot of people. It's just Rouse. I can't go to Rouse.
Yeah, the Target. I mean, look in general cases how long that shopping line is on a regular day, or like loops around half the store, especially the first week of school.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous.
Didn't they have some cases? I heard they had some cases like in July.
Yeah,
I think an employee had it.
Yeah,
I heard that.
But the village is quiet. I mean, they still have that seating. They have some seating by like Kava, Starbucks, Wahlburgers, the ramen. They took out the main central seating in the center of the village. People be on the lawn. But
Yeah, every post that I see, people that are at the campus are on the lawn.
VPNs are so inconsistent because they will come, they'll go to the lawn, tell one person to put the mask on, leave, while walking past some people without their mask on. So I'm like, what are you doing?
It, I don't know. I mean, seeing that we may be going back to practice soon, like I'm not full on worried of all this situation because I know our team's gonna be good about it. Like we got a coach that's gonna make sure that our team is good about it. But I know it's gonna be interesting to see what that kind of atmosphere is because I mean I know you still live there, so you're living there right now, so you're aware of what's going on. But like me being at home, I mean, I went yesterday and I was surprised to see how popping it actually was out there. Still,
People, you can't stop it from being outside.
Yeah.
man. Like I said last week though, the expectation of like when they keep on sending reports out, especially on local news networks, not so much Daily Trojan because Daily Trojan just exposes the people who are throwing parties. It's kind of funny, but like if you look at local news networks out here that are putting the number of cases that are found among the SC campus for its students, I just keeping there's no point in putting that because there's gonna be those numbers. Like that shouldn't be a shock and all like result to see. How they get it, yeah, it should be the upsetting part, but not complete shock, not complete.
Yeah.
Damn, there's this many cases, and at least there's not freaking 500 that are at other schools like Alabama.
1,000 at South Carolina.
Is that 1,000 now?
Yeah. And
1,000. A student body.
And they are still in school.
A student body of 35,400 kids. They had 1,017 cases reported.
and they
I
still
mean, last time yeah, I remember their like positive test rate percentage was on the last one when I think it was the initial 500. It was like 19%. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my goodness!
It was like
ridiculous.
it was either okay. I know 13 and 19 is a huge discrepancy, but it was one of those two.
That's
Still,
still,
the average is
That's
5.
and that's just the people who got tested. Imagine the people that didn't get tested.
That's double.
Yeah, they said. Well, experts are saying that all these coronavirus cases are being underreported now.
Well, that's been
But it's probably been like that since the beginning.
it's been like that since day one. From what I heard, the scary thing is the amount of cases that have been diagnosed. I think maybe separate from the deaths, but the amount of cases diagnosed right now is a tenth of what it actually is.
Shit. Oh my god. Where are we at? 6,000? No.
That's 6,000.
That's a wild number.
March like 11th, we were at 6,000.
We're at 6 million as a country.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
That's a lot.
Oh Jesus.
But I mean, from my
That's like swamp territory.
yeah, my understanding of the virus, like kind of from day one when I was trying to gauge on it. I mean, I was one of those people that, like, when we were still at school, when we were still at practicing, and the prospect of this virus was coming up. I mean, I quickly looked up a video and it was talking about how obviously it affects, or I mean, the rate kills, obviously affect and kill are two different things, but it mainly harshly affected people who were already immunocompromised. So I was one of those people. I was like, oh, like, okay, there's not that much to worry about. Granted, now different case, but one of the other videos that I saw was some professor was discussing the rate of transmission, and they were talking about how the regular flu, on average, a person who has the flu spreads it on average to 1.4 people. So tenfold. So like that 1.4 gives it to another 1.4 per person. Tenfold, that person's responsible for around 14 people getting sick. So like when that case goes 10 times, they said the coronavirus rate of transmission is 3 people. So 3 people, those 3 people each gives it to another 3 people. Tenfold, one person was responsible for 57,000 people getting it.
Bro, that's too much, bro. That's a lot.
That was my understanding. I was like, oh, okay. So we're not messing around here.
That makes perfect sense to see how New York just exploded in cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most dense area in the country. Just boom. But now they got positivity rating like 1% or lower.
Because a lot of people have also left the city.
Left the city and herd immunity.
Yeah.
I
mean, herd immunity is going to help that place out. That was the same thing in San Francisco. I mean, by one story that I read early on was how lucky San Francisco was to actually lose the Super Bowl. Because in the event that they would have won the Super Bowl and they had that parade in downtown, the amount of people that would have been congregating together in a time where that virus was already there, even though this was in February,
I didn't think about that.
Was going to be insane.
They would have had 1 million people.
Because San Francisco's built almost the exact same as New York.
Yeah, they would have had like 1 million plus at the parade.
Mm-hmm. And San Francisco is not a clean city.
Oh my goodness. That would have been so bad.
No, I mean, in our case, like I said, given where we are now, and the focus is trying to just see what the norm is going back to school, and eventually what the norm would be returning back to school, saying in like January, hopefully. I mean, I was so happy at the initial news that we were going to be on campus, which was obviously rescinded, but hearing that, I mean, that was a week or two after I learned that what Notre Dame was doing, which seemed to make perfect sense in the case of allowing their students to go back a couple weeks early and finish by November and not letting them leave pretty much, but in the case like using that time, leaving everything after that and starting back up in January, like that made perfect sense. And I was happy that we were doing the same thing. Looking where we are now, obviously still wrong. Because now they're back online. They weren't even in school for a week.
That's how that was like a lot of these schools. They were in person for like a week, and all of a sudden they go from like phase, like alert level 1 to alert level 4, and they're all online.
Yeah.
Except for Alabama.
Man, except for Alabama.
Like in Georgia, like Georgia State, they half online, half in the school. But all the schools that like down south, like near Savannah and stuff, but they back to normal.
I'm not surprised.
Like when I mean to tell you, they be like they walk around there like everything is normal. They be having their little parties, having their little parades and stuff. Be like, God, dog, yo.
They gotta have their little seafood boil.
Like they be getting lit.
Yeah, they gotta have that seafood boil.
They be getting lit, being in the main quad, just about
what was that?
10,000 deep.
I think it was Georgia. I mean, they had high school football. They had high school football on ESPN last week.
Alabama, Utah, Tennessee,
Texas.
They playing out here. Yeah, they playing.
And like they had people in the stands, and they were wearing masks, but they were all congregated together. So I was like, that ruins the point. That ruins the point.
Like it's about like 80 plus degrees, and you sitting there with your mask, man. Nah.
All those people, like when they showed the stands for that was it Trinity?
Yeah.
Trinity Christian versus
Yeah.
that team in
Something
Tennessee.
Nashville.
And I'm like, what in the world is going on here?
They was deep, bro.
I'm like, if you would have gone to sleep this time last year and woke up today and just look at the stands, you would be like, oh, it's a normal football game. Oh, why people got a mask on?
Yeah.
They just
They gotta have their football.
Yeah. They football back, they ain't worry about nothing.
College football. There's some more college football games this week, right?
The regular. We were supposed to play Bama this week.
Dang,
That was this week.
I ain't gonna lie.
That would
It wouldn't have been good.
It wouldn't have been good. I know, but
Would
still
have
would
got
have
tossed.
had that. I know. But in other news, though, y'all see that Jamie Newman opted out, leaving room for JT Daniels to start at Georgia.
Yeah, man.
And that was surprising.
That was.
It's surprising. I'll always be a JT Daniels truther. So I got you, JT.
That's the third prominent SEC player to back out after Jamar Chase and Kerry Vincent.
I knew Chase did. I'm trying to remember who Kerry Vincent is.
The DB, the nickelback. Number 5.
For LSU?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. He was early on, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was.
He was. This was gonna be his senior year, so yeah.
He announced.
Yeah, I knew the. Yeah.
He announced
the
Virginia.
Early. Yeah, the Virginia Tech kid was kind of first, and then went like Micah Parsons, and then Rondale Moore, and then.
Micah Parsons backed out.
Micah Parsons backed out early.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's smart for him though.
And I mean, he did it before their conference shut down or canceled their season, which them going back, that just literally makes no sense.
According to Trump, then the commissioner.
Yeah, the thing about it that doesn't make sense though is they're aiming for a Thanksgiving start date, even though I heard it may even get pushed up to October. But a Thanksgiving start date, I mean, the plan is to play 9 to 10 games. The college football playoff is already set for New Year's.
How you gonna get all them games done in span of basically a month?
Won't be in the college football playoffs.
Or 2 months.
The only thing is I think the Big Ten holds enough weight to maybe be able to push that playoff back a little bit.
They just
especially
won't.
In the case.
I guess there'll be like we won't have that 4 weeks to prepare. I guess.
Maybe, but one thing about it though, one of the venues was going to be the Rose Bowl, but the Rose Bowl already canceled. Like that's not going to happen.
I guess.
Well, it's not. There's going to be no game in California by December.
Yeah.
No. The regular high school football season is not starting till December.
Damn.
Yeah, they not about to let people play in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, they ain't. Even though that money's gonna be good, yeah, they ain't trying to. Makes sense.
No, it. Ooh, I forgot to take that.
I see Saban marching with Alabama, with his Alabama players.
I saw that.
I'm like, my boy Saban.
And he was in front, stepping too. I'm like, hey.
It's big.
Yeah.
Hopefully more coaches do it. Dabo did it, but
he ain't do it in a way.
He did it, but it ain't carry the same weight.
Nah.
Because of what? It didn't carry the same weight because Dabo was already under fire for the past couple of months.
Stuff.
Dabo's in save my ass mode.
Yeah. It like that would hold the same weight as Mike Gundy doing it. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Mike Gundy.
Dabo did it to save some recruits.
They had Dabo had, I know this random, but I think it's Xavier Thomas. Xavier Thomas had to not opt out of the season, but I think he's redshirting this season because he got sick from coronavirus and his like breathing is, I wouldn't say permanently messed up, but he's out for the whole year because of coronavirus complications. He already had it, but it was so bad on him that he has to sit out the year.
He was their top D lineman.
Yeah, it was him and Brian Breesy's still there, but I think Brian Breesy's a freshman this year.
I wonder if he had asthma.
Probably so.
It was like a form of.
I want
to say it was a form of like strep throat that I think like carried, and he just like can't. I think it affected him so much, and he was out for way too long that he was just never going to be ready for the season.
Oh man,
you gotta take care of your health.
That's scary.
Yeah, you can't try to push that thing.
Coronavirus permanently, or at least for a while, messing up your breathing
and eating and smelling and hair and
a whole lot of stuff.
It's just nothing to play around with, but people want to party. I just can't imagine me getting it.
What?
Like when scared. Yeah, I can't imagine me getting it, but like,
I'm not gonna lie. When I had a COVID test the day after my birthday, I was nervous. I was nervous because I went to the beach, then went to dinner, outdoor dining. I wore my mask though, social distance, but I was still scared. I was like, "Oh God, please God, on everything. Let me not get." When I got the results, I'm like, "Yes, we're good."
Yeah, man, that thing.
So, and I had one done at SC earlier in the summer, and I mean I go to physical therapy 3 times a week. Well, now 2 times, but majority of the summer I went 3 times, and I mean they check me while I'm there, so they don't like test me while I'm there, but they check my temperature, give me like a questionnaire, the regular. But like because of the amount of people that go in and out there in the same manner, and the idea that my roommate last year, or my person that lived in my apartment, Josh, he was really sick last year. This was like in late January, early February, and he was really sick. And he said he tested negative for, like, he did not test positive for the flu.
It's like he tested negative for like flu A.
I think so. But so the thing is, I got sick coming back from Washington like a couple days after. This was in like mid-February. And my immediate assumption was getting it from him. And I tested positive for influenza B. So I was like, okay, maybe that was it. But going like a couple months later, and one of the reasons that I got the test at SC done is because I was under the assumption that, damn, if he didn't test positive for A or B, I wonder if he had it. Because it was around that time, I was like, I wonder if he had it. And luckily, I didn't have any antibodies. But at the same time, it was quite a bit after that happened, so maybe the antibodies faded. I don't know.
Yeah, like late November, December, I got sick. So I was sick for like 3 weeks. They said I had an upper respiratory infection. Student health. They said if you just have this, you don't have symptoms for the flu. We don't know what it is. They said just wait it out. So they gave me all this medicine. Did not work. Horrible. So I basically just wrote it out till it went away. That took 3 weeks. Then like in April and May when I started to like work out again. Like every time I work out, when I'm done, my lungs were on fire. This was for like 2 to 3 weeks. I never felt this before when working out. My lungs would just be on fire. And then it went away. I'm like, okay, I either had it then when I was working out, or I had it back in November and January. And during when I was working out in April, I've also had that throat pain?
Yeah.
I had that as well. I had that. But yeah, that was the only symptom I had. But I felt fine. Nobody else in my family was sick. So I wonder, is that like a side effect or what? I just don't know. This thing is so weird.
Yeah, just don't know at that point.
It normalcy just seems so far away yet so close, and it just seems so like it's just gonna be different. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the prospect of going back to normal is gonna look like, if at all, if it's gonna go back to normal.
In my opinion, normalcy won't probably be reached for like 3 to 4 years. Here's why. Okay, coronavirus could be long and gone. But once coronavirus is over, we're going to have to deal with, as a country, a recession or damn near depression. Because right now, the value of the dollar bill is going down. The government is lending out tons of money for unemployment, renters, insurance, um, a whole bunch of money to keep these companies afloat. So what? That increases spending. Taxes are going to go up if people like it or not. And people think taxes have been low all this time, but it really hasn't, because government spending is taxes. That's people's money. So that's going to go up. Value of the dollar is going down. Terrible, because the Treasury is printing money as we speak. And did y'all see the thing? What shortage is it? Is it like a penny shortage? There's a coin shortage in the U.S. right now.
Yeah, I mean, the idea about it, I think I know what you're talking about, but also not many people use pennies in general anymore.
Yeah.
Well, in the case of, okay, I feel like I'm a bit naive to that, but that's just my view of things.
Yeah. But it's just the idea of that the United States is printing money as we speak.
Yeah.
Causing inflation. Then the value of the dollar is going to go down. Taxes are going to go up. Businesses are closing down as we speak. Renters are facing. They're not trying to be foreclosed, but then again, the owners are like hanging on by a thread to pay the mortgage. So, well, like right now, what they say, there was like 40 million people are at risk of being foreclosed.
I don't know the number on that.
It's like around there, which is an insane number.
Yeah.
Big time industries are waiving their employees. Big companies like Pinterest, I see they sold they're moving out of their big San Francisco high rise.
Like getting out of California.
Getting out of California. Tesla's getting out of California. A lot of people actually getting out of California.